no one wants to or is putting forth a bill that supports gangs. I don't support gangs. A family friend of mine was killed 2 months ago by a gang a gang member, and bled out in his house in Compton for 10 hours. This is not about gang members being victims. This is about everyone, regardless of your race or creed, deserving due process. That is what we are fighting for. Everyone should have rights under the law for due process. If you commit a crime and you are charged with a crime, this bill is asking that you prove those charges beyond a reasonable doubt. And currently our system says you get a pass if you attach a gang allegation. It becomes a catch-all for all kinds of alleged crimes in particular neighborhoods. Gang experts are not gang experts. Victims of the crimes are gang experts. Gang experts are oftentimes police officers who've worked patrol, who scroll the internet, and who know how to use the jargon at the right time, in front of the right audience, to scare people back into the original initial image that we all have in our heads of who a gang member is. This is about bifurcating charges. If I charge you with something, with anything, you should demand that I prove it. That's all this bill says. Just prove it. Because a gang allegation carries 15 years. 15 years you put somebody away without proving it? That's appalling. That's malfeasance. And we have a system that allows you to get away with those kinds of things. Shame on anyone who says that these gangs are not organized. They're not just fluid groups of people who pop in and out and come up with like well-designed acts of violence to commit. They are organizations of people who know how to communicate, who know how to strategize, who know how to pivot, who know how to manage people, and maybe know how to evade. They are organized. You can prove it. If you can prove all of these other things going on in our communities, you can prove that too. And if you're going to charge someone with being in a gang, who may be in a gang, separate the charge, that's all. Prove that they did whatever they did and prove that they're in a gang. But it's not fair to say, I get an additional 9 years for stealing a beer because at one point I was in a gang, or maybe because today I'm in a gang, but I didn't do it for the gang. I did it because I made a bad decision, because I was stupid, because I was arrogant. That's different. And the opposition, with all due respect, knows that juries lean into fear, because no one wants to say, I support a gang. This is not about that, honestly. And in my days and nights working on this bill, I wish it wasn't about this group of people that we've demonized, because fighting for due process shouldn't be this hard. I am continuing to work with the opposition to help them see. We will agree to disagree on certain fundamentals, I guess, about who deserves rights. But just because I don't like you and just because I'm scared of you doesn't mean that you don't deserve the same rights that I do. And that is all this bill says. And I apologize for my emotion, and I respectfully ask for your aye vote.